with Williams and Anderson in the backcourt. Gay, Villanueva, and Boone, the three guys Dick talked about up front. Krauser and Graves the backcourt. Taft, McCarroll, and Troutman up front for the Pitt Panthers. Our star watch tonight. One guy, Dick, that's playing very, very well, and one guy that's searching for his game right now.
Well, Rashad Anderson's trying to find his shot. I think he found it today at practice. I look for him to break out, and if he makes the perimeter shot, the trifecta like he did in the NCAA tournament, Connecticut becomes dynamite.
Could be a great, great loud crowd tonight, partly because of the weather. With more on that, the third member of our on-court team. She'll be with us all year long, Aaron Andrews. Aaron?
Brad, get ready. It's going to be twice as loud in here tonight. You see, yesterday word spread quickly about how badly this winter storm was going to affect the area. So the UConn athletic department quickly got to work. They got in touch with their season ticket holders, telling them, if you're not going to brave the winter conditions, let us know so we can give the tickets to the students. They set up a 1-800 number. They set up an email system. They got a response from over 2,500 of their season ticket holders saying, hey, give them to the students. We're going to enjoy this game from home. And guess what, guys? Twice as many students inside the building tonight cheering on the Huskies. Not a bad way to stay warm, Brad.
All right, Aaron, get out of there before you get injured.
You don't want that to happen. She's a diaper dad day.
10 to 15 inches of snow in the forecast. Blizzard warnings for most of this part of the country. Wherever you might be, if you're warmer than we are, we're happy for you. But that's a live shot outside, and we'll keep you posted on the weather. In case you're watching somewhere in Florida or California and it's beautiful, it's not beautiful here.
Well, my wife told me, she said it's cold down in Sarasota. It's only 62. Can you believe that? Hey, I'll tell you one thing. The one beauty of college basketball, it's only 70 degrees, and right now this place is rocking, and there's no place I'd rather be than right here at Campbell Pavilion.
It's almost 100 degrees with a noise in here. The officials tonight, Tim Higgins, Mike Kitts, and Jim Haney's got the ball in hand. We're just about set for the first of 8 Saturday night specials in a row, and we're underway, and it'll be the Pitt Panthers in their dark road uniforms with the first attempts.
Scoring point production's really been a dilemma for them. They have to have someone step up other than a big three with Krauser, Taft, and Troutman.
Krauser's the man. He works it around the perimeter. A dribble, drive, and off the mark is Graves, and the rebound, Villanueva.
Graves started the season off. First 7 games, averaged 11 points a game, has dropped from that point on.
Gay goes in, Boone knocks in the miss.
And that's what they do so well. They play volleyball up on the glass. They're very active, very athletic.
Nobody has even taken a seat yet in this building.
Pittsburgh usually very physical. They had a tough time, Connecticut, with physical play against Bookout and Taj Gray in Oklahoma.
Krauser's got to bring it back out with Williams on him. 10 on the shot clock.
Scored big against St. John's, but turned the ball over late in the game. That cost him.
He had 8 turnovers in that game. McCarroll goes up, and he's fouled.
You're right, Brad. He had the 8 turnovers, and he had 2 late in the game. You better block out against Connecticut, my friends. Take a look at him on the offensive glass. Boone is such a warrior. He really had a bad game down in Oklahoma. Bookout in that gang really got physical on him. He didn't have a defensive rebound.
We haven't even mentioned the size of those 3 guys. 6'9", 6'10", and 6'11". At the free throw line, Mark McCarroll. One of the tallest guys on Pitt's team at 6'10", but he misses a free throw.
He had so many big games last year coming off the bench. Finally, he's got himself in the starting lineup. They lost Demetrius, who's out due to charges against him for an assault, a burglary. Sad when you hear those things happening, Brad. Sad.
That's for sure. We've heard enough of it to last us a year already. 2 missed free throws, 1 an air ball, so it goes right back to UConn.
They're last in the Big East in shooting free throws. I was talking about that today at the shoot-around with Aaron Andrews. We were talking about their lack of shooting on that free throw line. Pittsburgh really struggling there.
59% in their last 7 games and only 63 for the season, and that's not going to win you many ball games.
Well, you and I saw a team at 65%.
Yeah.
32 in a row.
That's right. Wake Forest, baseline jumper. Troutman strong up for the rebound and pushed out of bounds.
A lot of teams, what they're doing against Connecticut, are packing it into the inside because Anderson and Brown are struggling shooting. As you look at Jamie Dixon, he was the Rookie of the Year last year in my poll as an outstanding first-year coach.
And the Big East Coach of the Year with a 31-5 mark last year. They went to the Sweet 16. And, of course, a guy that knows all about Sweet 16s and national championships mans the other bench in Jim Calhoun.
Hall of Famer, no doubt. Hall of Famer.
Taft, nice move on the baseline. Didn't get the drop. Williams a rebound. UConn looking to run.
Williams a lot different than the guy they had played a point last year, Talik Brown. He's a good passer, has great vision.
Boom, the one-hand hook. Sweet move.
Tell you, he didn't come here with a big-time reputation out of high school, but he's going to leave here with a big-time reputation.
Out of Mount Airy, Maryland, he's got the opening 4 points of the ballgame.
There's that man-to-man defense right now by Connecticut.
Taft trying to back in on Villareva, and he charged.
No doubt. I look at a Taft out of New York City, and I see he's averaging about 14 a game, 8 rebounds a game. He has great ability. I think he should be a 17 to 18-point scorer and 10 rebounds. There's the jump hook by Boone in the lane.
So Pitt scoreless, and UConn out to a 4-0 lead.
What's amazing about that baseline of Connecticut, Brad, is they're so young. We're talking 2 second-year players and a freshman.
Exactly. Inside, Anderson goes up, and he draws a foul.
Anderson was so brilliant in their run in winning the national championship. He averaged 18 a game and shot 49% from the three. He is really struggling mentally now with his shot, but I watched him at the workout today, and I'm telling you, he looked focused, he looked relaxed, and I think he's going to have a pretty big night.
He only had 2 points against Georgetown and only 4 against Seton Hall, and you can see that last season much better from outside the arc as he stands at the free throw line and delivers his first point of the night. Dick mentioned last year really shined, especially in the Elite Eight for Jim Calhoun, as Rashad had 28 against Alabama. There's a guy that's got a couple championship rings.
No doubt, and a Hall of Famer. You had Alabama the other night. I couldn't believe the score. I turned on a tube against Mississippi State. It was incredible.
98-49. That was not a normal night for Mississippi State. Kind of an abnormality maybe for both teams.
There's a little full-court trap right here. Connecticut likes to change defenses. They're multi-dimensional defensively. You want to pick up that dribble.
Krauser in trouble.
Got to post somebody up to the foul line area.
Boy, we have a lot of early and quick whistles. That one's going to be on Boone.
I got to believe Pittsburgh looks back and looks at those losses to Georgetown and Bucknell at home.
Yep.
They didn't close them out. They had those games won. As you look at Jamie Dixon taking the jacket off already.
We told you it was warming up in here.
Yeah, he said it's hot in here.
Krauser has yet to score. And off a UConn player's foot out of bounds.
Krauser told me, I know you got to be confident, but he told me today, he said, we're getting a win here. We are going home with a win. I like players that are confident.
Absolutely.
But now you got to do it. You can talk it, you can walk it, but now you got to do it.
He's their leading scorer at 16 a game. Going out is Rashad Anderson, and Hilton Armstrong comes in for Connecticut, as does Antonio Kellogg.
See the difference to them defensively. Talik Brown puts such relentless pressure on a basketball.
3 is short. UConn on the run, jump stop. Going the way to try to keep it alive, and it comes right back to the guy that missed the shot, Williams.
Williams had 16 assists in a game earlier this year against Central Connecticut.
That was a school record.
He has great vision. He can look right over the top. He's got good size.
Outside jumper in and out, going away by, I think, undercut by Krauser underneath. And so a lot of fouls early in the ballgame.
What a program Connecticut's developed here. When you think about the number of wins, look at how he's active on the inside. Always active, always moving, very agile, mobile.
Brown off the inbound. Denham Brown drops it from the baseline, and all of a sudden an 8-0 lead to start the ball game for the Huskies.
That's not the kind of start you want if you're on a road and you're Jamie Dixon. But I was saying, Connecticut's averaging 27 wins since 1997. That's incredible.
That is. Off to a great start at home. 3 out of 7 from the floor. Pitt is 0 for 3 so far.
Jim Calhoun told me flat out, he said, if we start making perimeter shots, we are going to be tough to reckon with.
Calhoun will be the recipient of the John R. Wooden Legends of Coaching Award. He'll be given that about the week after the Final Four, and I'm sure they're thinking maybe he's got an opportunity to go to the Final Four before he goes and gets that award on the left coast.
And also, I got to believe he's going to be nominated as a finalist again for the Hall of Fame. When you think of this conference, he and Jim Boeheim are certainly Hall of Fame material. Have done a phenomenal job in their tenures.
Two winningest coaches in the Big East, Boeheim, and number 2 is Calhoun. Syracuse another win today. Block shot inside, and then Troutman finally gets the goose egg off the board for Pittsburgh.
Troutman's amazing in his career. 64% shooter, very effective on the inside.
Wide open 3. And Ramon with the rebound. Open man, Graves for 3, and got it.
Got to make that open 3. Got to get some point production out of guys like Graves and Ramon. Ramon had a big game for them in an overtime win over Rutgers when he scored 21. I think this is the deepest conference from top to bottom, being the best, the ACC, because of their heavyweights. But from top to bottom, this conference is so deep. You saw Villanova today.
Exactly.
Blow out Kansas.
And these two teams have met for the championship in the tournament the last 3 years. In 2002, Brandon Knight missed a midcourt jumper in overtime that would have won the game, and in double overtime, Talik Brown hits a 30-footer. That put UConn ahead for good. 2003, Knight came back the next year and led Pittsburgh to a win with 15 points. And then last season was the rubber match. Ben Gordon hit a winning shot with 30 seconds remaining to bring UConn back from an 11-point deficit. And there's the score and the outcome of those last 3 Big East Conference Finals.
Well, to continue to have a rivalry, you got to be competitive all the time. That's what makes a rivalry, when teams are really good and match up with each other.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Still UConn ball. Boone's going to come back in, and we got a timeout. 15:46. UConn jumped to the big lead. Pitt has battled back. What fans will do?
The game, Husky fans will camp outside just to get these prime seats. But because of such low, dangerous freezing temperatures yesterday, authorities told these fans, go home, get warmed up, come back for college game day, and get all nice and toasty. Well, they gave bracelets out to those fans that had tents propped up. They gave them boarding number, how they were in line, and they got the prime seats. I found fans number 1 and number 2, and guess what? No frostbite, guys. They survived.
I'm glad.
Over to you.
When we came by that east entry over there, and we saw everybody standing outside and how long they'd been over there, it was like, you've got to be a great fan to stand in that stuff.
Try to overload against that 2-3 zone as the diagonal pass.
And there's a 3. So Anderson, the guy said that Dick said he thought would get his groove back, has got 5 points early.
Shooting 27% from the 3. Last year, 41%. And that's after a hot start earlier this year when he was averaging 16 a game, first 7 games.
Tapped off the mark. The rebound is Anderson.
He's got to be confident now. That's got to give you a little boost.
Hit his first 2 free throws, which is just like getting a couple extra practice shots, and then drained the 3. Rebound comes off to Krauser. Looking to push it for Pitt. Ramon's open, wants a 3. Got it.
He can shoot it at 21 in that win over Rutgers when they won it in overtime. 6-man coming off the bench.
That's his 31st 3 of the year, but you got to get back defensively.
Nobody got back in transition. That's now normally Pittsburgh, usually a very defensive-minded team. Physical, blockout. They're plus 10 in rebounding as well, Brad. Oh, he telegraphed that pass.
Oh, I guess Kendall almost threw it away. Graves the entry pass to Taft in the low block. Let's see what he can do on the baseline. Got it.
Great one-on-one maneuver to get the ball at Taft. I watch his ability, and he should be a better scorer than 14 a game.
Cuts the lead to 3.
They ran an isolation to get Taft the ball one-on-one.
The one-hand hook by Armstrong's off the mark, and Pitt's got an opportunity here with 6 minutes gone in the first half to make it a 1-point game.
You know, Armstrong's another part of that baseline. He's got 20 block shots this year. We didn't even talk about Ed Nelson, who was Rookie of the Year in the ACC.
Exactly.
Transfer from out of Georgia Tech.
Taft has it knocked away on the baseline. He's going to come out, and Gray will come in for him.
Look at him right here. Posted up on the inside, going to get the ball down deep. One-on-one maneuver. Little turnaround, Jay. He did that in the streets of New York, my friend, on many an occasion.
He's out to get a breather right now, and Aaron Gray comes in, the 7-footer, to take his spot in the lineup.
Got to get Ramon some shots. He can make shots.
Kendall with a left hand, and foul on the rebound. It's going to be on Gray, who just checked in.
I think Pittsburgh, whenever they play a marquee team, play one of the special clubs like Syracuse, Boston College is probably the biggest surprise in America, and now Connecticut. They got to get an A game out of Taft, Troutman, and Krauser. If one of those three do not come through, I think they go to the L column.
And so far, Krauser has been held scoreless in the first 6.5 minutes.
Well, he's got to at least handle the basketball effectively, be efficient, get guys key shots.
Anderson loses it out of bounds. UConn turns it over.
Coming off that loss to St. John's, what a surprise. Norm Roberts and John Thompson III at Georgetown. They're really inserting a lot of new spirit and life at those programs.
That's the 5th straight time they have lost at St. John's. Pitt. That's just, you know, one of those teams sometimes that seems to have your number when you go to their home court. And, of course, a lot of the Pitt guys from New York were talking smack about Madison Square Garden being their second home. That didn't go over too big with the St. John's players.
Norm Roberts, you think he had that in the locker room? You think
so.
He shared a few moments about that they've won 12 times here? They got all these New York players. Nice play.
Inside. Nice entry pass.
Great job of posting down in that low box. Good entry pass. Led the open handle, low box. Great execution out of there. Half-court game.
Gray, the 7-footer, asked for it. In the paint now, he's in trouble and kicks it back outside.
Get out a 3-second call.
Graves, short. Rebound off to Brown.
See, with Talik Brown, they used to run the ball up the court a lot quicker. Williams did that. It does it with the pass. Brown used to do it with dribble penetration.
Long three is short. Trying to run down his own miss was Marcus Williams, and it's going to be out of bounds to Pittsburgh.
Connecticut does a great job. Offensive efficiency, getting execution out of their half-court game. We're going to see him right here, locking up, freeze it, right here on a box inside. Once he gets the ball in that deep, see, squares his body to the baseline. You're at his mercy. That's automatic if he gets in that deep.
You freeze it around here, you just walk outside. That's all you need.
Hey, you know, Villanova originally committed to Illinois and Bill Self to Norm Roberts. Nice play.
Gray takes everything with him, including Boone inside, and he'll have a chance for a three-point play.
Nice little two-man game. They get a big lift out of the big fella, Mr. Gray. Great two-man game. There's the drives, the bounce pass, takes it up, the good angle. Very important to have angles right there. Excellent angle and has the strength to deliver the deuce.
Now you wonder, Dick, if Josh Boone with 2 fouls is going to follow the Calhoun rule and have to sit down the rest of this half. That's what he used to do with Okafor, and Gray caps down the three-point play.
You may mention one of my favorite players, Okafor, because he's classy. You know, we hear a lot of guys in the NBA ripped about this and ripped about that. As you're right, Brad, he goes to the sideline. Hey, Okafor's a great guy. Tim Duncan's a great guy. Grant Hill, Kevin Garnett. There are a lot of Shane Battier, a lot of super guys in the NBA as well.
Okafor may be on his way to being Rookie of the Year in the NBA. He's had a great start.
I think he's a lock for it.
Here's Brown outside, knocking it down.
Well, if Brown and Anderson start making shots from the perimeter, what an effective offensive team they become.
You know, these two teams we mentioned played 3 times last year, and Brown in the first game against Pitt had a 20-point game. He's got 6 off the bench already.
And that was the first time that they suffered a loss in the Jamie Dixon. He was 18-0.
That's right. Brown off the mark. Krauser trying to push it for the Panthers.
He's trying to get everybody involved. Krauser rather than 4 shots.
Ramon, tough shot in the lane. And the rebound comes off to Armstrong. And I think Gray just took one of the chops from an Armstrong elbow. And a technical has been called on the Connecticut bench.
Oh,
Tim Higgins, and now
Jim Calhoun kicks the E on the USPN.
Yeah, he let
kick our side.
He let the E have it. Look at the mark he left right there.
Don't kick our E. Oh, Jimmy, don't hurt our ESPN side.
Better he kick our E than our S, I guess. 17-15. All right, Scott, thanks. Dick, you just mentioned BC. One of the undefeateds. Only 3 left, though, after Kansas took it in the chops today.
What an amazing story down there at BC. Al Skinner's done an amazing job, and so has Mike Krzyzewski. I don't think anybody believes that right now Boston College or Duke will be unblemished. I mean, Duke's got 3 major league players, Sheldon Williams, certainly Ewing, and certainly J.J. Redick. They got a tough test Wednesday night when Maryland comes to Cameron. And Tuesday night, you mentioned Illinois is undefeated. It's going to go on a road to Wisconsin.
Nobody beats Wisconsin there, it doesn't seem like. Jim Calhoun was just called for a technical foul before our timeout. And after the technical was called, he put his size about 12s right into our E there. I think that's going to be there for a while.
But I like how quick you were. He said, as long as he didn't get it in the S.
Krauser's first point comes from the free throw line. And now a chance to tie it up right here for the second time.
You know the difference with Pittsburgh this year versus last year, for example? This year already 6 teams have shot 47% or better against them. St. John shot 48%. Last year, only 5 teams in 36 games shot better than 46%. You don't want to get the second, Jimmy.
Nope. There's somebody next to you will be running the show.
It'll be tough to get home, too, with that snow outside.
You'd have to stay here.
Not a bad place to stay.
No.
Beautiful. I'll tell you, playing at Gamble is absolutely great. But economically, it costs some cash because there's a difference of 16,294 seats versus 10,027 seats. And the difference is 6,267 seats at $28. It's about $175 game.
You're back to teaching math, aren't you?
Well, I got to pay Jim Calhoun and Gino Auriemma. They need all that cash at the Hartford Civic Center.
New 6-year contract extension for Jim and a 5-year one for Gino. They're the champions. That's why they make the cash. Villanueva got it to go on a baseline.
Can't allow him to get the ball in that deep. Villanueva is getting the ball in deep. He has really been playing well as of late.
Krauser trying to break down Anderson. Can't shake him, but he finds his man underneath and in close. Troutman missed.
He usually never misses that on the interior.
I think he was too open.
Yeah, too open is right. 64% in his career.
That is a school record, and he'll probably continue to have that. And Anderson gets it to go. So Rashad Anderson, Dix said to the guys on game day, and he said it when we came on the air, that this would be his night to break out. And he's got 7 points to lead UConn in scoring.
Well, he was so relaxed. He came over, spoke to me today at the shoot-around, and I could just see his attitude. He had a great attitude for a kid that's struggling. And certainly Jim Calhoun has to also be commended for keeping him in the lineup.
Villanueva has one rattle out, and Krauser with another rebound. John DeGroat in the lineup for Pitt, as Pitt's gone to its bench early in this ball game as well.
DeGroat came out of junior college, big-time reputation, very athletic.
And now Villanueva blocks the shot by Troutman inside.
And that's why they lead the nation in block shots. Duke is number 2. Sheldon Williams had 9 in one game against Virginia.
So just when the score was tied back up on the free throws, it's UConn with 4 straight to lead by 4 with 9.5 remaining in the half. Kick ball by Krauser.
Coach Blaney told me today, the fine assistant coach who has all kinds of head coaching experience, that Mr. Kellogg is going to be a very good player for them from out of Oakland, California. And George knows a lot about guard play. I like the fact that coaches go out and hire guys who are former head coaches like Dave Hobbs down there at Alabama. You think of Kerry Rupp down in Indiana. A lot of guys are getting that chance and they want to come back after losing their job. Melvin Watkins down at Missouri.
Williams slips, but he does get the pass to Villanueva inside.
He's so active on that baseline and so agile.
And now another turnover by Pitt. Kellogg comes up with a steal.
Kellogg from out of Oakland, California, played in the same league with Thomas down there at North Carolina.
Villanueva trying to lob it to Nelson, and it's going to be a foul, I believe, on Troutman.
Think about how deep they are in the baseline. Ed Nelson, you and I were talking before the game, was Rookie of the Year in the ACC, and he's their 5th guy. So this nice little pass right here, dumped down into Villanueva. There's the catch. He reverses, lays on the glass. Another look. Look how active he is down here in the baseline. Very active player. Knows how to utilize the basket as a shield. Made a smart decision. Took his name out of the NBA draft to come to college.
That 3 short, and he shags down his own miss. Does Anderson. And UConn another fresh clock with a 6-point lead.
They like the toughness that Marcus Williams is starting to demonstrate as well.
Ample Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut on a very, very snowy Saturday night. Brad Nessler, Dick Vitale, Aaron Andrews, and our game day crew, Reese and Dicker and Jay upstairs, as I'm sure you were with them all day long, and Anderson knocks down another 3.
Well, you just watched him today at the shoot-around, my friends. He's making me look good, bro.
He is making you look good.
Wow, Rashad on fire.
And he's making Pitt look bad.
And he's making Coach Calhoun look good.
Rashad Anderson, 10 points, 2 3-pointers included.
There's the Rainbow J from the baseline. Great arc.
A 9-point lead now for UConn over Pittsburgh. Big Monday presented by Bud Light on ESPN. A couple of big games as well coming up. Perennial Big East Conference power. Syracuse taking on Rutgers at 7. And then at 9 Eastern, in-state rivals clash. John Lucas and the Oklahoma State Cowboy gang will take on the Oklahoma Sooners in a Big 12 battle. Big Monday presented by Bud Light on ESPN on Monday. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. We talked to Jim Calhoun. He felt, too, Rashawn Anderson was going to come out of his slump.
Someone asked me what reason would I give by the fact that I know he's going to start shooting well again, because he always has done it. I mean, there's no reason to think all of a sudden that Pedro, that Martinez, that trader, being a Red Sox guy, I can say that, is not going to pitch well next year. Why? Because he's a great pitcher. He's done it before. There's no reason to believe that Rashawn Anderson is not going to start shooting the ball well, because he's a great shooter.
Well, he's been a pitcher and a shooter tonight. Anderson, that's for sure. Rebound off that miss. Pitt now trying to settle down. They've tied it twice at 15 and 17. They've never led. A lot of guys slipping out there tonight. I don't know if they put sand and salt on the floor like they do on the sidewalks. I don't know. They sanded the whole town, I think, maybe.
They're really high on Graves, stepping in for Page. You know, you think about the toughness mentally. They lose Page and they lose Brown. And on the other side, Connecticut losing a guy like Brown. We certainly know about the loss of Gordon and Okafor, both now playing in the NBA. But Brown was a big loss.
He was their #1 assist guy, career-wise, over 700. Here's Pitt looking to run. Nobody's been able to score really in transition yet, and they won't there either.
And you know what they really missed Brown? Defensively, he disrupted the other club's offensive flow, their rhythm.
Jamie Dixon comes way out on the court to call the play. They might want to get Ramon open. He's a good shooter. A little bit short on that one, though. Taft keeps it alive. Offensive rebound and one.
That's a big-time offensive rebounder from the New York City Kid.
All right, Scott, here it's 26-19, two of the heavyweights of the Big East. I don't think anybody expected Boston College to be considered one of the heavyweights of the Big East, but they sure played like it so far.
Nobody at all considered them. And you think about Dudley and Smith, they've been outstanding, two California kids. Al Skinner's done a phenomenal job, but also Syracuse, to me, is a legit contender for the national title. That 2-3 zone, McNamara, Warwick's having a National Player of the Year kind of season, and they've got a good game today out of Billy Edelin. They got to go to Rutgers, though, and that'll never be easy. And I'll tell you, Big Monday is going to be exciting because Oklahoma has really been outstanding, and no one talks about them. They beat Connecticut about 2 weeks ago. They play Oklahoma State Big Monday. Joey Graham against Taj Gray.
It's the second of the doubleheader on Monday night on ESPN. So the missed free throw, again, Pitt having trouble from the free throw line. Couldn't cap off the three-point play to make it a 6-point ball game.
That driver coach bananas. That helps you to lose your hair, man. Jamie's got all his, but I lost mine.
Here's Armstrong with a follow, and he's fouled.
That's their great strength on the offensive glass. Rebound margin outstanding. They really attack the glass. Watch them on the inside here. Going to see the ball go up on a rim, and they got great inside position.
Hilton Armstrong, he's 6'11", the guy that just knocked this down.
It becomes really contagious. Everybody steps up. I mean, what a front court. And think about it, Okafor left early.
Right.
He had the heart of a champion. I'll tell you, they were on the ropes big time against Duke late in that game. Okafor would not allow them to lose. And I said right then and there, if I were drafted, he would be my first pick. And all the respect in the world for Dwight Howard, who's doing a great job for Orlando. But I knew that Okafor was going to be a big-time winner, and he will be a factor in the NBA.
He willed that win, is what he did.
He really did.
Off the glass, no basket, and an offensive foul on Krauser. So now Krauser and Troutman each have 2 fouls, 2 of the Pitt starters.
Krauser's got to get going. They don't have a shot unless he starts making some shots for them.
Down 10 now.
Their defense really broke down, and that's their great strength. They broke down against Bucknell, Georgetown, and St. John's. Bucknell shot 51%, Georgetown 50%, and St. John's 48%.
Here's the man of the night so far, Anderson. Williams, strong off the glass with the left hand.
It was strong, Brad. He went right down that lane to his strong hand. Played at Crenshaw High School out in L.A., where they developed Darryl Strawberry, also Marcus Johnson, John Williams of LSU fame.
And now Pitt looks a little bit lost.
He also played at Oak Hill. I remember having him in a game against LeBron James. Talked about it with him today.
Played his senior year at Oak Hill. Here's Troutman losing the handle.
shot selection so important, and they're doing a great job of getting good shots.
Anderson with a three.
My friends, my friends, my friends, may I tell you once again, check the tape at about 8:30 tonight. Check the tape about 8:30 tonight on game day. What a great job those guys are doing.
Look at the three of them looking at you right now. They're shaking their head up there.
Look at those guys. And Jay.
Here's Anderson, his third triple of the night, and his 30th of the year.
That's a Rainbow J right there.
So much for the slump for Rashad Anderson.
You know, when you're a good shooter, you're going to get it back. It's like a hitter to go to a little slump. They're going to get it back.
Well, tonight, Reese and Jay and Digger will have all the highlights from a busy Saturday in college basketball. There they are up there. All the latest news and stories on College Game Day, fueled by Mountain Dew on ESPN at midnight Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
There's my guys. They're up there.
Those three up there, the three of us down here. Let's check in with our third, Aaron Andrews.
Well, Brad, when Rashad Anderson was going through his slump, he said he'd never shot the ball that badly. He'd never gone through anything like that before. He sought advice from so many people, like his father. You mentioned it, Emeka Okafor, everybody telling him, keep doing what you're doing. You're going to break out of it. And you called it, Dick. He called it. He thought he could break out of it this weekend, and he's going to show no mercy, guys.
Troutman in 7 to score. Aaron, one thing about a shooter, you just keep shooting, baby.
That's the only way to get out of it. Brown, and he's doing some pretty fancy shooting tonight, too. He's got 8.
He says, anything my buddy could do, I could do a little better.
This is a 19-4 run since that technical on Jim Calhoun.
I see that gave him a big lift, gave him a big psychological lift. Arnold Red Auerbach used to do that up in Boston with the Celtics.
Inside. Strong move by Graves, the guard, but he missed the shot, and then adding insult to injury, there's a foul.
Connecticut is going to get better and better as the season progresses because they're such a young basketball team. They're going to be a team that you're not going to want to play come the postseason.
Here's Denham Brown picking up his 8th point that last trip down court.
Nice catch, Brad. Look at the catch inside, lays it on the glass. I'm telling you, come March, they're going to be an extremely dangerous team because right now Williams is going to get better and better, and that front court is starting to build all kinds of swagger to their step and confidence.
Brown with 8. 13 already for Rashad Anderson as our star watch. The guy that we said has been the star was Krauser. He's been scoring in bunches. Anderson searching for his star, and he's found it in the first half.
Well, we said Carl Krauser is going to have a big game for them to have a chance to win. Well, obviously he's having a subpar game for his standards, and they're struggling right now. They've had so much success at Pittsburgh, 44-3 in that beautiful arena that they have, the Peterson Event Center. They were 19-0 2 years ago there. Lost their first game there to Syracuse, then lost back-to-back home games to Bucknell and Georgetown.
They're 39-9 in the last 3 years. 3 straight years, I should say, of being 13-3 in the conference. So 39-9 in the conference over the last 3 years is pretty special.
As you talked about, it's also special. Sweet 16 3 years.
Yep.
Lost last year to Oklahoma State. They got beat. He then beat St. Joe's in that big game where John Lucas made a big shot.
Under the 4-minute mark. Great lead by Williams to Armstrong.
Great pass by Williams. He's an excellent passer. He's
number 1 assist guy in the Big East.
Yeah, he's got great vision, better than 7 a game. He does it differently. He doesn't have that great blinding speed. It's under control.
Gray with a turn on the baseline with a hook. And Tim Higgins whistles a foul inside. With 3:31 remaining, it's going to go against Pittsburgh. A 15-point lead. UConn on the move at home. We've definitely got the nasty weather, and UConn burning down their house at Gamble Pavilion right now as Talking Heads brings us back in to the arena here. 38-23, the halftime score. Speaking of Talking Heads, coming up on the UPS halftime report with Scott Reese. Scott, you're more than a talking head. I'm just kidding. There's only 3 undefeated teams left now. J.J. Redick lighting it up, Game Day Live, and a lot more. Stick around. That's 3 minutes, 31 seconds away.
You don't know how many people told me today that they thought Duke was going to go down to Florida State after Florida State beat Wake, and it was not to be had.
Nope.
Mike Krzyzewski, J.J. Redick, Salim Stoudemire now for Arizona, and J.J. Redick are as good as shooters you're going to find. Stoudemire's on fire down there for Arizona lately.
Williams at the free throw line, only a 56% free throw shooter, but he knocks that one down.
You know, you come on a road like this, and if you get beat here in your Pittsburgh, this is not a bad loss. The bad loss is when you lose at home to Georgetown and you lose at home to Bucknell.
In back-to-back games.
Yeah. You know, I used to love our buddy Jimmy V. He said, you know, they got on my case about not graduating players when I was at NC State. He said, but they never gave me credit for all I graduated at Bucknell and Johns Hopkins. He said, why did you factor that there?
Got to average it off a little bit.
Oh.
Here's Nelson trying to hustle to get the steal, but he is out of bounds. There's the guy we were talking about earlier, and that's the kind of thing that made him the ACC Rookie of the Year at Georgia Tech. Ed Nelson, he was a worker, a blue-collar guy that would go to the deck and bloody his nose on the boards, and that's what he's doing here coming off the bench.
Brad, you know, it's amazing right now when you look at Connecticut. Maybe freezing outside, but they're on fire inside. I would rate their first half performance thus far an A+. Defensively, offensively, perimeter game, baseline.
They only have one turnover. They got 4 block shots, and they're shooting extremely well.
And they're playing great on the defensive side, giving a lot of help to one another. Really shutting down Krauser.
They're shutting down the shot clock on Pitt right now. Ramon's going to have to take one from about 28 feet. He got it.
He knocked that one down from down at Farmington, Connecticut.
Wow.
He shot that from Bob Lee's living room.
That's as long at three-pointers you'll see without it being a half-court heave at the end of a half.
That's what they're looking for him. Offensive productivity, some points like he got to 21 against Rutgers.
Anderson will try to answer with his own three, and he does.
He is on fire. They're going to call the fire chief here today, baby. He's burning those nets down.
43-26. Right back to a 17-point lead it goes.
I am really impressed with UConn. They're much better than what I anticipated. I knew their baseline would be good, but when you combine that with shooting from the perimeter, it takes it up a notch. And I love Gamble Pavilion. This is one of great small places to play.
Kellogg picks up the foul. Anderson with 4 threes.
Look how he squares his body. See how he squares his body? Great square elbow in. Just a tremendous release. And he's usually, look at him, it's a little unorthodox the way he shoots. But he had the arm in.
There's the wink. I'd be winking too if I had 16 first half points and everybody was talking about how badly I've been playing. Krauser at the free throw line. That's the only place he has scored tonight. They're going to need more of him in the second half without a doubt. The junior out of the Bronx. He's a Wooden and Naismith and Cousy candidate to start the season, and he's their leading scorer. But tonight, he's been held totally in check in this first half.
Well, their strength has always been on the defensive side, but they're going to have to put points on the board to be able to win here tonight.
You know, they've only given up 70 points to one opponent this year, and UConn's got 43. We still have 2 minutes to go in the half.
And the 70 they gave up was in a win, 84-71 over Penn State.
Under 2 minutes in the half. And errant pass. Krauser, nice hustle.
Oh, I almost had the rock. It was almost in my hands.
That close.
My stage manager, Kathy, knocked it away. I was going to keep it. I wasn't going to give it back.
She's playing pretty good defense over there. She fronted you.
She did. All the media pumped up here tonight. So Mr. Egan, certainly Phil Charles is always here from Connecticut.
Troutman with a rebound. Troutman the muscle underneath for Pittsburgh, but he's been held in check tonight too. Only 4 points. Krauser on a runner, still can't find a field goal. And Villanueva with a rebound and dribbles out. Krauser trying to steal it again and does this time. That's only the second UConn turnover.
Villanueva's got that great speed. He can get into the transition game, run up and down the court. What a smart decision he made. Look up to college and get his name out of the NBA draft. And he's wise to stay here and have a real breakout big-time year next year.
Krauser going to keep trying. And Villanueva tracks down the rebound.
Came out at a time when MBEB was also with them, thinking about going to Arizona or the NBA. Went.
Oh, boy. That's a heat check by Anderson there. He was a long ways out, too.
He'd be sitting on a pine down in Minnesota. Would have been better off going to college and develop his game.
Guys that have developed their game pretty well will be on the PGA Tour on ABC Sports. Season premiere. Tiger, VJ, Ernie Els, Phil Mickelson, and defending champion John Daly head to field the Buick Invitational. Final round coverage tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern on ABC Sports. I bet they'll have better weather than we have here.
They asked me on game day to name my favorite player and my best player, I thought, here at Connecticut. I said Raymond Allen. And I'll tell you one thing, when you think about all their guys, they're third right now in the NBA number of players. Connecticut has 9. Kentucky's number 1 with 13 active guys. Duke has 10. And then there's Arizona, Kansas, North Carolina, UCLA. And trust me, Ben Holland, who did a great job as the architect of this program prior to Jamie Dixon, his assistant, taking over, he will rejuvenate and get UCLA back on track.
Also substituting for the Panthers.
Substitution coming in. DeGroat will come in for Pitt. Taft at the free throw line. 1 out of 2 tonight. Chris, a sophomore out of Brooklyn, out of that Coney Island area that produced guys like Stephon Marbury.
Came from the same high school as Chris Mullen, one of the greatest shooters ever in the history of the Big East. Hey, you mentioned the group. Take away the D and you think about Groat. Dick Groat's in the house, MVP with the Pirates in 60.
Doing the radio and has been for about how many, 30 years? I don't know.
Great guy. Jay Billis and I were talking to him earlier today. He also the only guy to lead the nation in scoring and assists at Duke. They hang his jersey number 10 in the rafters at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Just over a half minute remaining, 10 on the shot clock. Williams dribbling that shot clock away. Gonna have to hurry on the shot. Would have been a shot clock violation even if Pitt hadn't have pulled that down. Now the final 20 seconds belongs to the Panthers unless they shoot quickly. DeGroat's going to try long jumper on the baseline. Nice positioning for the rebound, but Villanueva blocked the shot, and then Taft takes it back up and in.
Taft and Chapman giving a nice combination, a nice tandem on the inside.
Final seconds. Williams got to force one, had it stripped away from him, and so Pitt closes the gap down to 11 at halftime. But Rashad Anderson, the guy that Dick said would come to life tonight, boy, is he ever. 5 out of 8 from the floor, 16 points in the first half to lead his team to an 11-point lead. 43-32 is our halftime score here in Stores. Now let's go to the UPS. Sometime in the next half an hour is when the really heavy stuff is supposed to hit.
Wow.
They're talking about snow, maybe 4 inches an hour.
4 inches an hour? Now you know why I live in Florida.
There you go. First half, though, UConn was hotter than that. They did everything right. They controlled the boards. They shot almost 50%. They only had 2 turnovers. And the guy that you said would come to life came to life.
Well, Anderson had a big half. But you know what's amazing? They're plus 11. And Gay and Boone have not really played more than 8 minutes as we look at Rashad Anderson, who's been on fire tonight. Knocking down threes. Got a shot back. Certainly that has been a difference here in the first half.
And as Dick said, 2 of their big guns barely played.
Total of 8 minutes.
8 minutes between Gay and Boone. With the 2 fouls, and both of them came out as soon as they hit the 2-foul limit for Jim Calhoun in the first half.
And that's why I think they got the best front court in America, because they can go to the bench. Armstrong was effective. Yep. Nelson gives you a hustler, a guy with a lot of experience. As we documented, he was the Rookie of the Year in the ACC when he played at Georgia Tech, who, by the way, has really struggled. Got beat by Virginia Tech. Yep. What about a surprise? Virginia Tech and Miami in the ACC getting some wins. You
saw that UConn almost never loses when they lead at half in the last 4 years, and they've got an 11-point cushion here. They aren't going to push it to 13, courtesy of a nice defensive rebound by Chris Taft.
Krauser's got to come strong. He was 0 for 4 in the first half. Great look right there.
Wow. Troutman has missed a couple in close, and as Dick said earlier, he never misses in close. And now numbers for UConn. Oh, he wanted a 3. He'll take it. Anderson got another one.
What a big turnaround. That's a 5-point turnaround right there. Pittsburgh should have had a layup on that end of the floor. Instead, they come back down here and knock down 3.
The 5th 3 for Rashad Anderson tonight. And a steal. Gay takes it down one-on-one, kicks out to Williams.
Gay has so much potential.
He's a guy that can shoot the 3, too.
Yeah, they really have a player. They like him to go more on the inside, but he certainly shows that he can shoot the 3. In fact, George Blaney, the assistant, wants him to shoot more 3s. Jim Calhoun says, no, I want him inside.
There he was inside momentarily. Anderson, another triple. This time it's Krauser with a rebound, trying to push it down one-on-one against Williams.
Krauser's got to start looking for a shot. I know he's being very unselfish tonight, but they need some point production out of him, out of that guard slot. Very loud crowd, very active, all fired up. A lot of students in here. Normally it's only 2,500 that get tickets. They won the lottery to get those 2,500.
As Aaron said, a lot of the folks that knew they weren't going to come due to the weather conditions gave those tickets up, so there's more students in here than normal. There's Krauser finding his shot. That's his first field goal, though, of the night.
Yeah, he's got to be active offensively. He's got a lot of skills and a lot of ability. I like his game.
Blocking foul as McCarroll, trying to hold his ground, picks up his first.
Hey, Brad, can I say happy birthday to my brother John back at home?
I think you just did.
What, did I, John? Happy birthday. He's watching the game with his son Chris, who worked here in the athletic department and graduated here in engineering.
You don't want to give up ages or anything.
There's the little waiver, knocking down a perimeter shot. My nephew Chris, I want to let him know this. I spoke to his boss here today, Dave Kaplan, and he told me he gave him rave reviews. 5+.
5-star, huh?
Yes, sir. He worked in the video room in the athletic department.
5-star player tonight's been Rashad Anderson, that's for sure. Krauser looking for an opening. He can't find one, and offensive foul to boot.
As soon as you spin and turn, you are susceptible to taking a charge on the other end, and that's what happened there. You drive him, you beat him, you turn him. He turns him right here. As soon as he turns, there's the defensive player waiting for him. There's the contact. That's a no-no for a guard. You don't want to turn your back.
14-point lead. Jamie Dixon can only shake his head looking on. His Panthers taking it on the chin right now on the road. Nice speed inside. Boone goes up strong and draws a foul.
Marcus Williams really loves passing a rock. He likes distributing it. He can lay it on a dime. He really knows how to pass with that great vision. Now take a look up on top. There's a diagonal pass, the one-hand push with his left hand, his strong hand. He's got big guys he can give it to also.
More on Marcus. Aaron's got more. Aaron.
Marcus Williams wasn't able to participate in last year's march to the national title. He only played 16 games before he was ruled academically ineligible. He'll never forget, though, the call he received after the team won the national title. Head coach Jim Calhoun calling him from San Antonio and saying, next season, the ball is yours. This is your team. Brad?
Boy, he's taking that to heart, too.
That's a coach always coaching and thinking about a kid in the future rather than just the moment of winning the national title. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. He'll be up there in Springfield, Mass. eventually. A beautiful place, by the way. It is absolutely gorgeous if you get up there. Fans should go up there and see all the stars in this game who've been inducted.
Again, slipping is Taft. Goes baseline, the follow, whistle, and no basket.
I look at Pittsburgh right now, and I really think they're just not the same as last year with Page and certainly with Brown. Look at Taft trying to be active on the inside.
Now defending Boone on the other end.
Had so much success, expectations start to get so high and crazy. I was teasing Jamie. What do you do for the encore? You win 31 in your first year.
That's right.
You spoil people.
Second winningest coach in a rookie season ever.
And what a great city, Pittsburgh, a great sports town.
And offensive foul on Josh Boone.
They got a beautiful, beautiful baseball park there. Pirates, I threw out a ball opening game there. I mean, in one of their games, I threw out the opening pitch, and I had a great time.
Did you one-hop it?
No, I got it right there at the home plate. It was during the middle of the season, and the owner had me there.
You're just trying to suck up to the Pittsburgh fans after you said it was going to be a New England kind of weekend, and I think the Steelers fans would probably take offense at that.
Well,
that's what you were talking about.
I just feel the difference will be Tom Brady. He's such a winner. He's got that winner's mentality. I love Pittsburgh. What they've achieved this year. Bill Cowher's one of my favorite guys, but I really think it's tough to go against those Patriots.
I wonder what the weather's going to be like in both Philadelphia and Pittsburgh tomorrow. The snow's affecting both those areas as well.
I think one of my favorite guys, the bus, man, Mr. Bettis. I watched him at Notre Dame when my daughters were there.
The wheels on the bus continue to go around even at age 34. Outside jumper goes for Krauser, his first three of the night.
He's starting to think a little bit more offense and looking for his shot. I thought he tried to get everyone involved more in the first half. Really didn't look for a shot.
Armstrong, quick spin on the baseline. What a move.
How do you like to bring that guy off the bench? Think about that. He doesn't start, my friends. He comes off the bench. 6'10", active around the baseline. He's blocked 20 shots this year. I'm going to give you my 5 best baselines in America before this game is over.
I'm going to hold my breath. 15 and a half to go. It's a 12-point game. Pitt trying to close the gap a little more.
They're a tough bunch of kids at Pittsburgh. They're not just going to fold over. They're going to battle.
Here's the feed inside. There's one of those battlers. Troutman.
See, they got to get back, though. Look at the way they run the court. Look at the way Villanova that just gets out. He's a gazelle. He's got so much speed and quickness for a big player.
6'11", 240, and runs like that.
Had a lot on his mind this year. His mom was in a serious auto accident. She's doing a lot better. He told me before the game. He'd say our best to her.
Krauser got his man up twice, but Williams got back defensively, and now the ball out of bounds. Turnover, Pittsburgh.
That's too tough to handle that pass.
14:42 remaining in the ball game. When you got guys that can come off the bench and do this, you're a pretty good team. 53-41 Huskies.
Connecticut, I just love their baseline. Boone and company. You know, North Carolina with their gang, Jawad Williams and Sean May and Marvin Williams and Manuel. Love Oklahoma State with McFarland and Graham. Gonzaga with Turioff and Morrison. And they got Batiste as well. Wake Forest with Mr. Williams, who had a monster game today against
29, I think.
Yeah, was really bringing inside against a very good Cincinnati team.
He had 29. Chris Paul had another All-American type game with 21.
Hey, I know you got Louisville on Wednesday. They're playing really well right now. Blew out Tennessee today.
Their second half against Tennessee was unbelievable today. The game was a 1-point game at halftime. Here's Kendall getting fouled on the break.
See, Kendall should have given that up. He should have given a rock right up to Troutman and had a layup. I mean, you got to communicate, but you got to give that ball up. But he was watching the ball as he was dribbling, and he was not. You kids out there, keep your eyes up. You don't watch the ball as you're pounding it to the deck. They had a layup. Pittsburgh had a great year this year in football until they ran into the running Utes.
There's the coach of the year last season. His team not playing like that tonight. Don't forget Reese and Jay and Digger. We'll have all the highlights from a busy college basketball Saturday and all the latest news and stories on a college game day fueled by Mountain Dew at midnight tonight. Those guys put in a long day. They still look good up there.
Tell you what, they're getting paid well, though, so don't feel sorry for them.
That's true. Krauser has not been able to just shake free of Williams and Anderson and the guys that have been guarding him tonight. Antonio Kellogg's done it at times tonight as well.
Yeah, Williams doing a good job defensively, really making him work to get any scores, playing off him a little bit, says, hey, you want to shoot that jumper? I might give you, but I'm not going to let you beat me on a drive.
And Anderson trying to stay with Ramon, fouls him. That'll be his first of the night. You know, even you look at this game, and it's really been dominated by Connecticut. They've led by as many as 17 points on several occasions. It's right now, these free throws away from being, well, it's not going to be free throws yet, but they're a bucket away from making it a single-digit ball game.
And they really have struggled on the free throw line the entire season. Last in the Big East. That's such an Achilles heel to clubs. Using a term from the late Al McGuire, one of my favorite people of all time. And there's a foul right out there. He knocked it to the deck on the screen.
That's going to be on Brown. The shooting's been pretty bad tonight. Last in the Big East, as we mentioned, in free throws.
63%, not going to get it done, especially in those Mealock smashes, those close games.
Here's Krauser going down, and he's going to shoot three.
He's going to get three now. He's going to convert them.
And Krauser is a 74% free throw shooter who's hit all 4 of his tonight.
There he is coming off right now, off a screen. There's the turnaround. There's the foul from the back. Goes down, and now he's got to convert on the line.
So this could get it into a single-digit situation.
And 22 against St. John's in the last game, but he had those 8 turnovers and 2 late in the game that really hurt them. And I'll tell you, Mr. Hill put a show on, they said, in that game with 26. Darrell Hill for St. John's.
Krauser now with 10. You see a season average of just under 16.
Yeah, he's picking it up here in the second half.
And he's stroking it from the free throw line. The last 8 games, he's kind of struggled from the line, 68%. But I said 74 on the season, 78 last year. And he's shooting more like he did last year right now from the stripe tonight.
Well, they get it under double digits right here, Brad. It got it down to 8.
That's as close as they've been in a long, long time.
Connecticut really running the ball up the court.
Williams and Brown, Armstrong, Villanueva, and Gay on the floor right now for the Huskies. And Williams going to launch a 3. Don't know about that shot. Gray with the rebound.
That's not one of your first options.
Troutman underneath. Got a nice feed. Great look. And Jim Calhoun, oh boy, he's coming all the way out on the court to meet some of his fellas.
Oh, he is furious. He wasn't happy with that last possession. And what a great job by Pittsburgh in transition.
53-47, and Jim Calhoun came all the way out to midcourt when he called that timeout because his defense didn't get back.
Yeah, he really was upset with the fact that nobody got back defensively. See how slow they're getting back? Look at these guys. They're slow. They're not stopping the ball. And there's Troutman who sneaks out in transition and gets a layup. Also, you look right now, he didn't like that shot they took as he talks to George Blaney, outstanding assistant.
And the shooting has improved dramatically. I mentioned Pitt 5 out of 8 since the second half began, and they're back in the ballgame. 53-47.
Also, Brad, making free throws, 11 for 13. Team that's in last place in the Big East in shooting free throws. Now they need a defensive stop.
Loose ball. They haven't turned it over much, but they do there. Troutman's going to pull it out.
Smart play by Troutman, a heady player, 64% shooter in his career.
Going to leave it off. Gray was wide open. They let him have that spot.
Troutman does a great job getting post position, single reversals on. That's a hole right here.
And now Gray turned it over, and that was his fault. And now Krauser's got 4 fouls, and that's a killer for the Panthers.
Timmy Higgins was right on the call. No way he was getting away with that. That was right in front of us. I even could see that with my one eye. I mean, he grabbed him and held him.
Now you take your leading scorer, and he has to sit down with 12:42 to go.
It's a matter of how long now do you keep him out. You're going to see right here, look at the hole. He's going to grab him right there. He grabs him in that area.
But remember, it was the pass that caused him to have to chase down the guy and pick up his 4th foul. It was a terrible pass out of the baseline by Gray. Williams says, I'm not taking another one.
He didn't even think about it.
I'm not taking another one of those.
He didn't even think about that shot.
I don't want to be sitting next to the coach.
No, I don't want to be an assistant coach.
Nice crossover dribble, and he goes to the baseline and slips. And he finds himself in a double team. 10 on the shot.
Reverse the ball. They had a wide open guy on the baseline.
And now Brown lost it going up, and we've got a guy down, and it's Gray holding his right leg.
Villanueva really upset there, and I don't blame him. He was wide open on the baseline for a dunk. As you look at Gray on the deck here.
Gray, the 7-footer.
You know, he's been very active. Gray has given him some good solid minutes off that bench.
He's played a lot better this year. He's dropped almost 30 pounds on that 7-foot frame, and let's see what happens. Oh, man, his ankle turned on his own teammate.
Freeze it. Look at White here. He steps here. He's wide open. I mean, wide open. Villanueva wants the ball for a dunk.
But the beginning of that replay that we showed you, the reason we showed you is because he stepped on his teammate Graves' foot. And there's Charlie making his presence known to his teammates that he was wide open. And that ankle, when you're 7 feet and you weigh 275 pounds and you turn it on a teammate's sneaker like that, it's going to be a long walk to the bench.
Did a real solid job for them, too. He came in, he hustled on the glass, worked real hard.
Here's another look. Watch his right ankle. Ooh, man, right there.
Yes, sir.
His dad, a player, played with Gene Banks and Mike Jaminski on that Duke Final Four team of '78. His dad, Steve. And now Aaron, they'll take that shoe off and retape, maybe. I don't know.
That's the year that Kentucky won it all. Joby Hall Digger was there as well as Arkansas with the triplets. Brewer, Moncrief, and Delphi. Pretty good memory, huh?
Not bad for an old guy. Graves misses a 3.
Oh, look at Troutman working hard inside.
And now Villanueva, I think, is going to be the guilty party, although Armstrong was there as well.
He's so strong, Troutman. He's got that good pump fake, good ball fake to get himself the opportunity.
53-46, getting closer, and it's getting snowier outside. Is snowier a word? I don't know, but it's snowing out there. UConn, their fans still fired up, but their team hasn't had a field goal in the last 4 minutes plus. You know, they played almost flawless in the first half. It was a pretty game if you're a UConn
right,
fan.
now it's ugly.
Yeah, you and I just talked during the break. It's an ugly game now, but Pitt's got them playing their style.
Exactly. Pitt's changed their tempo of the game. They got them in at half court. Got them a little ugly right now, and Jamie Dixon and his kids are right in this game.
Troutman at the free throw line, so they continue to hit free throws as well.
I don't know. Everywhere we go, teams have bad resumes when we get there in terms of free throw shooting, and all of a sudden they get on fire. I mean, Wake Forest had 50 in a row in a 2-game cycle, and then they missed that one that would have won the game against Florida State. Downey, who, by the way, is a very good kid. Everybody on his case about that throat situation, I can tell you, he is a good kid.
Yep.
Made a mistake, and he's the first that would tell you that.
It's a 4-point game, Mr. Vitale.
Yes, sir. And there's the 2-3 zone now. And there's a little bounce to their step. Now they're matching up.
There's a way to shoot somebody out of a zone, but he doesn't get it. And the rebound comes off to Taft, and now Pitt can make it a 2-point game.
I'll tell you something else they've done. They have quieted, knocked out the crowd.
Totally.
And that is big. That's going to be big for Illinois to do when they go down to Wisconsin to get that crowd and get the energy away.
Good luck.
For the whole team, yeah.
Outside jumper is there, and it goes for 3, and it's Troutman. Only his 4th three-pointer of the year, and he's made it a 1-point ball game.
And the veterans stepping up. Now here comes the Connecticut faithful. They're starting the Husky fans, trying to give a little lift. They're going to get the ball inside a little more. Doing a great job defensively in a post right now. Troutman on Villanueva.
We're under 11 minutes, and now suddenly what was once a 17-point UConn lead is 53-52.
And they're really focused defensively. Look at the intensity of the Pittsburgh kids on the defensive side.
They look like a different club than they did in the first half.
Got to get a little more movement right now for Connecticut.
Just barely got the shot away. Villanueva rattled out a 3, and Pittsburgh's got a chance for the first time tonight to lead in this ball game.
And what a brilliant first half.
They haven't led throughout. They aren't good on that one either, as Graves went to the rack with the left hand, and Boone pulled down the rebound.
Connecticut had such a brilliant first half. Right now struggling offensively.
Villanueva going up strong off the glass, but it came out. Boone, the stick back, and he's fouled.
Very active inside, though. Smart decision right now by Jim Calhoun's team, trying to drive the ball into the low post.
Pittsburgh a little short on big guys because of that injury to Gray. I think Aaron's got more on it.
Yeah, Brad, there may be some good news right now. Trainers are retaping that right ankle, and he did walk to the locker room and come back. I watched him putting weight on that ankle, which is a lot better than what we saw as he was coming off the court. Of course, his teammates carrying him off, so they're going to need him out there, and he may be on his way, guys.
There you go. They are retaping.
You're right, Aaron. They're going to need that extra player on that front court. Very physical to be able to stay. Fatigue plays a factor when you have to constantly battle against the likes of Boone and Villanueva and Gay.
Especially with Troutman having 3 fouls. Boone missed the second free throw.
I would show patience right now, and I'd look to Troutman or Mr. Taft on the inside. Let them have to check them down in the boxes.
Ramon's going to draw a double team, gets around a pick, looking for a shot, but he's got Boone at 6'11" in front of him.
He had Taft down in the box.
Troutman, didn't he double dribble? I guess not. He goes up, has it blocked by Boone. Got it back. Still trying to tip it up and in. He's got his hands on it, I'll say that much for him, and finally a foul call.
What a great effort inside. I mean, you talk about a kid giving everything he has, just relentless, tenacious on the glass. Oh, look at the tenacity. And this has been a trademark of Pittsburgh over the last few years. This is why they've been one of the tough clubs in America. Look at him working on the glass. Look at that effort. Oh, Mr. Cowher would like to have him in the lineup tomorrow.
You know, he's a guy that says he wouldn't mind trying football.
Wow.
And Aaron, I know they wanted him to play football here. Walt Harris did.
They sure did. They weren't the only one. Last year, an Atlanta Falcons scout handed him a card and told him, hey, if basketball doesn't work out, give us a call. Like you mentioned, Coach Harris tried several times to get him. He said, you know, I played one season in high school. I didn't really like getting dirty too much. He's getting dirty inside tonight, guys.
Boy, he is. And, you know, he played against Antonio Gates when Gates was at Kent State, and they played in the NCAA tournament. So he knows about playing against guys that didn't play basketball and went on to play football. One guy's in the Pro Bowl, so who knows? He's got the body for it, I'll tell you that.
Gates has been sensational as a tight end. In fact, Kent State won that game.
Yep.
Beat Pittsburgh.
We haven't been tied since it was 17-17, and we're still not tied. He missed the second half of the 2 free throws.
Connecticut's got to get balance between their perimeter game and their inside game to be an outstanding team. Gary Williams told me that. Talked to him earlier this week. He said you have to have balance, and how true it is.
Well, he lost a player for the season, too. You talked about Darryl Strawberry earlier. DJ's out for the year.
Yeah, he's an energy guy.
Boone, baseline, rebound, comes off to the guy we've been talking about, Troutman.
They're doing a great job on the glass right now, Pittsburgh.
UConn's only shooting 28% this half.
Pittsburgh much more physical defensively in the second half. Krauser got hit in the eye.
Krauser did get hit in the eye. He's trying to clear the tears, and Tim Higgins now and Jim Haney see that. They're going to stop play here. I think he was coming around trying to battle through a screen or around a pick and ran into somebody.
He's playing with 4 fouls. Remember that, too. Playing with 4 fouls.
Well, it happened right there on the left of the screen when he was coming around a pick and guarded by Williams.
Some people might question right now. I think it's a good move. You know, I really believe the old Al McGuire theory. Hey, you got to play your best players. You're on the road right now. You need to win badly. You can't leave them on that sideline as an assistant coach.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Pittsburgh down by 1. They have never led in this ball game. Krauser on one eye puts that one up, never hit the rim, and the shot clock goes off. Shot clock violation, so they had an opportunity to take the lead, had to take a bad shot, and then missed everything.
Yeah, never touched the rim. Now, right now, I would challenge Krauser with 4 fouls.
Yeah. If
I'm Williams, I'm not going to be passive. I'm going to attack it. In fact, with that size, why not post him inside, invert him? I love when they invert guards like Pierre Pierce up in Iowa. He did it against Illinois.
Look at Troutman hit the boards now when they need him. They need him desperately, and he's been coming through.
He really has. He's only allowed him to get 1 shot, Connecticut. An outstanding rebounding team.
It's still a 1-point game as we approach the 8-minute mark.
Get it inside to Troutman. Let him go inside. Take
Here he is.
Basket.
Up and in, and they lead for the first time.
Why not? Why not? Bring it to him. He wants the ball. Tough, hard-nosed competitor. You got to like him, man. I love that kid. He really just wants to win. There he is right now. He's one of those role players. Tough inside force.
And Dick, that foul's on Boone, and that's 4.
Boone allowed him to get the baseline, too. Didn't beat him to the spot. You got to beat him to the spot. Josh Boone not having one of his typical outstanding nights. Had a subpar night against Oklahoma.
So Boone will go out, and Armstrong will come back in, and Troutman goes to the free throw line to try to cap off a 3-point play. And Aaron Andrews said that Gray would come back in, and she's right. Retaped, back out there for the big fella, and the big fella right now for Pitt is this guy.
I'll tell you, it's amazing how quickly they quieted the crowd down. They're getting a little loud down there now on the baseline.
And he does cap off the 3-point play. What a huge second half for Troutman. He's going to get a little breather right now.
Well, you know, they got 2 big-time games coming up. This one and the one with Syracuse. You would say they'd have to at least get one of those 2 to remain a contender in the Big East. I mean, somebody going to beat Boston College? I mean, it's amazing what they're doing up there. Dudley and Smith and Al Skinner's guy.
You saw as Troutman went to the bench, virtually everybody, every coach, every player came over and shook his hand, and he still hasn't even taken a seat. He's too pumped up. He's still standing over there.
And give him a minute rest. He'll be right on that floor. Right now, they're starting to pack it up inside. Connecticut not thinking about shooting the ball from the perimeter.
Nice feed inside Villanueva, and he's fouled. Good look inside by Anderson with the pass.
Well, you know, a lot of guys like to react, and then they're anticipators. He anticipated that play right there, Anderson.
Pennsylvania's first ever Mr. Basketball on a Williamsport, home of the Little League World Series. He's playing a big league game here in the second half. 17 points, 12 rebounds, his 6th of the year, double-double, and the 10th of his career. I mean, he has been the workhorse.
You know, I picked a bunch of guys that call them my all role players, my all blenders, my all support guys. And Troutman was on that team. And I say support guys because all the attention goes to Taft and certainly Krauser. And he's like the 3rd guy in the arsenal. He's not the 3rd guy tonight.
No, he isn't. He is the front man. Villanueva now at the free throw line. His first trip to the stripe. And rattled around and dropped for Charlie. Part of the gold medal winning 21 and under team of the World Championships. This guy, all Big East rookie performer, as was Boone last year.
He played with Kelvin Sampson, coached that team, and does an outstanding job at Oklahoma. And also on that team was Chris Paul and Sean May. In fact, we saw them get the award at prior to the game with Wake Forest and North Carolina.
That's right.
This is, though, the typical way Pittsburgh was outstanding in 31-5 last year. Defensively, rebound, very physical. Gay and Boone have not been factors tonight.
Gay hasn't scored at all. It's a tie game for the first time since it was 17 apiece.
Drummond back out.
Trying to lob it into the big fella.
So physical inside.
Gray, nice move.
I'll tell you, he's been really active. Has really helped him.
And playing on a bad right ankle.
He's cutting it out.
Anderson tried a three, and Gray with a rebound, the guy we just talked about. So a 2-point lead, 7:20 remaining.
Let's give him solid minutes off the bench, the big guy. Laying some screens.
Boy, what a
shot. What a shot.
What a tough bunch of kids. I was thinking the same thing. We're thinking the same thing.
We watched how beautiful, I mean, the rhythm, the flow that Connecticut had in that first half. Especially when they're up 17. Then they get a little sloppy at the end of the half. They allowed him to get to 11.
Krauser open for three. Gave it up.
Nice.
Graves will take it instead and got it. His second field goal of the night, both three-pointers, and all of a sudden it's 61-56 Pittsburgh.
What a great job of reversing the basketball. Jamie Dixon has to really be pleased how unselfish they are. Watch them. We're going to show them how they're going to reverse the basketball, bring it around. They're going to bring it over to the three-point shooter. Graves is coming off the right side. You're going to see the ball reversed out. Right, freeze it right here. Right here. Defense going to step out, and they're going to bring the ball right here, and he's going to an open three. And there's Mr. Graves, wide open, knocking it down. They need point production. You know, earlier this year, he was scoring about 11 a game in the first 7 games, and then dropped significantly down to about 5 a game.
2 3-pointers, none bigger than that one by Graves. That's for sure.
Hey, they may be jumping with joy in the Steel City where they got great fans. It's a great city.
Don't forget Reese and Jay and Digger. We'll have all the highlights from a busy Saturday in college basketball, all the latest news and stories. College Game Day fueled by Mountain Dew on ESPN at midnight Eastern. For more info, log on to ESPN.com. Those guys are in shock, too, up there.
Yeah, we're all in shock. There's the zone now to 2-3. Match it up now to play man-to-man.
Gay in the lineup now. Brown lost the handle, and out of bounds still UConn ball.
UConn really struggling offensively, and they can't get anything in transition. And that was the difference last year with Talik Brown. He used to push the ball up the floor. Didn't hurt to have Okafor and Gordon.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Gordon doing a great job with Scott Skiles in Chicago. What a shot they've been playing great.
Armstrong on the baseline, knocks it down.
He is productive. He has really given them good minutes off the bench as well.
9 points off the bench, too, for Hilton Armstrong.
Very active. Gave the crowd a little lift. This crowd has been really silenced, and not by the snow either, by this Pittsburgh suffocating defense. A lot of intensity out there, Brad.
Gray double team down low. Graves, who hit the last shot, tried to dribble through traffic and lost it. Turnover now, everybody going to the deck.
Look at Gray, look at him battling. He'll make the old John Madden team playing like that.
And it's going to be Pittsburgh's possession.
You know, it's really amazing when you don't see many transition baskets. Every possession becomes like such economically. You got to really make something happen with it because you're really in a struggle situation. You can't get anything easy.
Jim Calhoun, with one technical already, just has to walk away. Didn't like the call. He thought that Anderson had the ball before it was ever in a hell ball situation.
I don't think Jim has liked a lot of calls in his career.
That's true. That's true.
What a great coach. What an architect. You talk about building a program, what he has done here. You and I were talking at halftime about to each other when we went out for a little break about how amazing a story it is. Storrs, Connecticut, national champs, women's and men's basketball. Amazing.
Out of 326 teams, one city has both champions.
Right.
Here's Graves. Rebound, who's going to get it? Last touch knocked by Williams off the leg of Kendall.
Jim Haney with a good call down there on that baseline. Basketball capital of the world last year, Storrs, Connecticut.
Here's another look at the hustle by Williams, who had it almost go out of bounds, and then boom, off the leg of Kendall and out to UConn.
They're 90-14 on this floor since this place was started years ago. According to Andy Prince, who does a great job as a statistician for Connecticut.
94-14 overall, 9-1 this year, but their one loss was in Hartford at the Civic Center, not here at Gamble.
They play Syracuse here as well at Gamble.
The shooting in the second half's been horrendous for the Huskies after it was near 50% in the first half.
And that's that suffocating, tough physical defense. And that physical style really hurt Connecticut against Oklahoma.
Gay will take the outside jumper, and the rebound is Krauser's.
Rudy Gay has a pretty good percentage from out there, but they like to see him go inside.
Tough catch by Troutman on the pass by Krauser.
I'll tell you, he looks like he can be a tight end with those hands.
I tell you what, that one wasn't bad.
Great hands. What a great look by Krauser.
And Armstrong, he's been the guy off the bench.
He really has. It's amazing when you look at that kind of talent, you know that he can't start.
That's right.
We got a good one, buddy.
5 minutes left, 3-point game on our first Saturday prime time. Big East battle between UConn and Pittsburgh. Krauser waits for the traffic to go by, missed the outside jumper. Villanueva with a rebound.
Big rebound by Villanueva because Taffel's right there for that offensive rebound.
It's Williams, Brown, Villanueva, Gay, and Armstrong on the floor. Rashad Anderson, who had the extremely hot first half, he and Boone are on the sideline. Brown, oh, what a jumper there by Denham Brown.
And that's been his strength throughout his career, except for this year, really struggling.
Nothing Denham about that. That was silk.
That was silk, man. You got that. Silky smooth, too. And it's got some life in the crowd here up in Stars.
63-62.
They're all jumping. I can't believe they were in this bailout smash, and I thought that was going to be blowout city. And so did we.
Krauser gave up a three and maybe threw it away. He did. Brown, coast to coast, rejected out of there by Kendall. What a block.
Kendall with a great timing with that left hand blocking the shot. Most of your great shot blockers utilize that left hand. David Robinson did that really great. The greatest of them all, Bill Russell, the Hall of Famer with the Celtics. Because most players shoot with the right hand, so with the left hand coming across, you're not going to make contact with the body. Rudy Gay's had a subpar night, the diaper dandy tonight.
Kendall only his third block shot of the year, but it couldn't have come at a better time with 4 minutes left and his team looking at giving up the lead.
See, they can play off Williams. He's not a threat from out here on the perimeter shooting ball. Play off a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's taken a shot since he missed that three that was pretty ill-advised.
And that's another reason you can play Krauser, because he's not a threat offensively, basically.
Well, Williams is going to shoot, and he comes up short again.
I think they would like to see him shoot the ball right there. If you're Pittsburgh, they'd rather see that option and see the ball go to that great front guy. Sat there, we were stunned.
The ESPN Classic's going to air that game, by the way, tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern time. The one we just showed you.
Connecticut comes out empty in that possession. Looked like they're going to have a layup. The ball slipped.
Like you said, every possession counts now.
Take some time off that clock. Get it to the horse inside.
Troutman up and under.
Oh, he's been amazing. I'm telling you right now, he's one of the leading contenders for my player of the week on my website. I do every Monday.
I'd give it to him even if they lose.
What an effort.
23 for Troutman. And now it's a 5-point lead again. That's the biggest Pitt's had.
Remember, they were down 17. Connecticut was really effective. Every weapon was working. Perimeter game, inside game. They shut him down. Typical way Pittsburgh has won with defense.
Williams draws a double team and then threw it away.
Connecticut out of sync in the second half. No rhythm at all offensively. They really missed Talik Brown. I'll tell you one thing. We know about Gordon and Okafor, but point guard play is so essential. Williams eventually is going to be a very good player, but he's going through the feeling out process right now.
Pitt had been struggling a little bit. They started 10-0. They'd only won 2 of their last 5 games. Now here they are on the road in one of the toughest places to play in all of college basketball. And in Stores, with 2 minutes left, they've got a 5-point lead. The Huskies of UConn.
And they also showed a lot of guts and heart because they could have folded. When Connecticut was up 17 and playing well, the crowd was alive, but they just kept playing and playing and playing, especially on the defensive side.
The second half, their body language, they came out and started to put it together, and when they got it down to single digits, they could smell blood in the water.
Well, they got a little edge there when they got it down to 11 at halftime.
Well, there's a miscue, though. Over and back, they turn it over, and that gives it back. So a free possession basically there for UConn. They get a stop by an unforced error, one that Pittsburgh forced itself.
If you talk about a must possession, this is a must score in possession right now for Connecticut. I mean, absolutely a must. They got to get some points on the board out of this possession.
They've got Anderson back in there. Anderson with Villanueva, Armstrong, Gay, and Williams.
Trying to lay a double screen here.
Here's the freshman losing the handle momentarily, but he got it back and he's fouled. And it is Kendall that got him.
What a great job they have done defensively. You got to credit that coaching staff, Jamie Dixon and Barry Rawson and company. Barry does a phenomenal job recruiting New York City.
So Rudy Gay is going to go to the free throw line.
Got to come up here and score. You got to get 2 out of this possession.
68% free throw shooter on the year. This is his first trip tonight. 28 of 41. He hasn't scored at all tonight. So here he is trying to score in a crucial situation. And he got it.
He and Boone really have struggled tonight. Got in foul trouble early. This is big because now you get into a 1-possession game.
Yep. Gay had a huge game. His career high and season high was against Seton Hall in the win earlier this week. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 block shots, 3 assists tonight. Not much in the scoreboard, but 2 huge free throws right there.
He's got a nice stroke. Now to go to full court pressure. Good call by Jim Calhoun. I'm going to go to a trap. Very active with the big guy on a point. There's the turnover. There's the turnover.
They get it back.
And that really happened. Charlie the little wave. Charlie the little wave, his size on that basketball. And he's like how agile he is. He's got the long arms. Created that turnover, the trap.
Now in a 1-possession situation with a lot of time left. 119.
Yeah, you don't have to think about a 3 here.
Nope.
It's too early in the game. Got to push the ball. See, he's going to be more of an attacker. He's a little too passive at that point when you look at Williams. Got to attack the defense a little more. That's it. Attack the seam and find the open man.
And off the foot of Ronald Ramon and out of bounds. So still Connecticut ball.
I love guards at that point guard slot that attack the defense. Get into seams, gaps, drive, and draw people to you. Dump it off for layups.
1:05 left into the backcourt to Armstrong. And now he'll hand it back off to Williams. They did not reset the clock on that ball going out of bounds. I think Jim Calhoun wanted it, but he doesn't get it. And there's 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gay. Big shot, missed it, and tapped the rebound.
They got the good shot off penetration by Williams. Who would have ever thought we'd be sitting here at this scenario? But you and I, in that first half, were singing the praises of Connecticut for their brilliant play.
And a timeout taken by Pitt. Pittsburgh with a timeout. 41.6 seconds, all that remains. And they lead 67-64. And if UConn loses this on a snowy night, there's going to be some tears in the crowd, and you'll be able to see them in high definition. ESPN HD and ESPN2 HD, the premier place to experience sports in high definition, brought to you by Phillips. Upcoming games, Duke and Carolina. That'll be a dandy. Tuesday, Georgia and Florida, and Michigan and Michigan State. Those are upcoming games in HD. Sports Center will follow us, and then Reese and Jay and Digger will be back at midnight with more game day.
I'll tell you, it won my praise. When you look at Pittsburgh, they could have folded, man. Could have been El Foldo. What a bunch of gutty kids who really battled back in an adverse situation. They may be cold outside. They get this win. They're not worried about the ice and the snow. It's going to be like 90 degrees when they get into that bus. Trying to head back to the hotel over in Hartford. Now you got to be really intelligent with the ball here. Take some time off the clock and go inside to Troutman or Taft.
Troutman wants it. Armstrong on him. They almost threw it away, and overplaying was Kellogg trying to come up with a steal, and instead he comes up with a foul.
Dangerous pass right there. That baby was telegraphed. Are you stunned? I'm stunned. Stunned right now.
Everybody in here is.
I'm really stunned.
This game looked like it was so over in the first half. When you come back from 17 down and all of a sudden find yourself 3 up with less than a half minutes ago and an opportunity to pull off an upset on a Big East road game, you've done your job.
A team like Connecticut especially.
Krauser wills that one in. He is 8 for 8 from the free throw line, and I had mentioned that he had been struggling the last 7 or 8 games from the stripe. Not tonight for Carl.
Or for the entire team. The entire team has shot exceptionally well in relationship to their 63% coming into the game.
Krauser, another big shot. It's 2 possessions. No matter what happens, he knocks it down.
Played 9 minutes with 4 fouls as well.
Yep, we questioned that at one point too, but as you said, sometimes you got to go with your best players, and obviously Jamie Dixon was thinking that.
You got to go with your best, and on the other side, I don't believe that Connecticut did a good job of attacking him, trying to get that 5th on him.
5-point ball game, 28 seconds left. UConn needs some prayers answered in a hurry, or they're going to lose on their home floor.
Get a deuce quickly, throw it inside.
And they turn it over instead, and it's Troutman on the break. And
watch intentional.
it
Yes,
is.
sir. Good call.
Armstrong gets the intentional foul call.
Jim Calhoun on the court here. Got a court here. Jimmy on the court.
Jim spent more time on the court than some of his reserve players tonight. Again, dribbling into traffic was Williams. He slipped down, and then Troutman, and here comes Armstrong, number 11, and rakes the arms, or tries to.
Well, you know, Jimmy had a claim right there of a foul. I think he's right. I thought there was a foul in that area there.
So the intentional foul sends Troutman to the free throw line, and if he doesn't make Dick's Player of the Week thing, I don't know who will.
Well, you go to my website, we're going to find out. But I'll tell you one thing. Right now, he is certainly a leading contender.
Tonight, 78% from the stripe, and he just keeps knocking them down.
Not only his scoring, but his ability to lay his body on the inside, really neutralize the Connecticut front court. Look at his faces. They're stunned. They're shocked. And it's not about the snow and ice. It's about how frigid it's been here in the second half. Look, he said, I told you. Look, he's coming over. Come here. Look, he's coming over. He said, I told you. You told me, Carl. Yes, you
just
did.
Came over and said to Dick, I told you, I told you, I told you.
He said, I told you. Oh, he did. He told me today.
That was probably the only time he was going to get a chance to tell you that. So he walked over during Troutman's free throws and let you know.
He said, I told you we're getting a W. Well, Pittsburgh's leaving with a W, he told me today.
Career high for Troutman, 27 points.
What a performance. Defensively, offensively, rebounding. He did a sensational job here in the second half. So
there he goes, just to add to it. Why not?
Why not? Why not? Star of stars, Mr. Troutman.
29 points, double figures in rebounds, and he's led his team to a stunning come-from-behind victory in the next 9 seconds.
On a road, what a big-time performance by Jamie Dixon and his kids. They're going to feel like $1 million. A lot of heart, a lot of pride, a lot of guts.
As Dick said, a Chevy playing like a Rolls tonight.
Like a solid gold Rolls Royce. Something that you would be driving. As Mr. Troutman showed even the jump shot from the perimeter. Knocking the three down. And now he's driving the baseline. Gets the fourth foul there on Boone. Now he goes inside. Little spin move. Little reverse layup. He's so effective on the inside. Great hands. Great body.
He says, hey, I want to be the best that's ever played at this school.
Hey, Bino, Cook's jumping with joy in Pittsburgh. It might be a great Pittsburgh weekend. Now they got to go home and cheer the Steelers on.
If they can get home.
Yeah, that's right, if they can get home.
That's the same story with all of us.
Well, we're not getting home, I can tell you that.
Don't forget, this is the first of 8 straight on Saturday nights. And next week, we'll go to a legendary building.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby. Created by some of our geniuses like Mr. Shapiro and Bert Magnus, who does a great job as Vice President of Programming, and Dan Steer in basketball. All have made these happen. College game day. Those guys are going to work at 12 midnight, too.
They're going to have snowshoes by the time they get out of here. So next Saturday night, Texas and Kansas from Allen Fieldhouse, and we'll all be there.
Should be an angry Kansas team. First they got a date at Baylor, and then they come home to play Texas. Texas had some tough luck losing P.J. Tucker, LaMarcus Aldridge, who I think is the most potential of any freshman in America. He's out with a hip injury as well.
Here's a guy at the free throw line that guaranteed you the victory.
Yeah, hasn't missed on the line either. He's performed. He's backed it up. Second half, he has backed it up.
He's got 10 straight free throws tonight. And Troutman, sensational.
And that's putting it mildly. Sensational. He's been super scintillating and sensational.
Your 3S man.
Yes, sir. He's been a 3S man tonight.
We're heading to the exits and out into the cold as Krauser finally misses a free throw, but it isn't going to matter. Final 5 seconds. Villanueva from the free throw line. And in shocking fashion, the Pitt Panthers on the road have come from behind from 17 down to win by 10. 76-66, the final score. Pittsburgh with the upset over UConn. Next up on ESPN Sports Center. Right now for Dick Vitale, Aaron Andrews, the game day crew, and everybody else from Stores, I'm Brad Nessler. Next up, Sports Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.